Dear students, welcome back. Today we are going to see about the poetic device for the poem Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening by Robert Frost. The previous two videos we dealt with poem reading and poem explanation. Now this video is about to deal the excellent poetic device applied in the poem by the poet Robert Frost. Now, let me start to explain about the poetic devices. The poem Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening is the lyric poem that consists of 4 quatrains. Quatrain means a stanza has 4 lines. So, in this poem, all the stanzas have 4 lines each. So, I think you all understood what is quatrain. Literary device is known as figure of speech. When they are used in a poem, they are known as poetic device. Figure of speech is a way of expressing or narrating or saying something. It is used by the poets in a poem by writers in stories and speech. There are various poetic devices. They are simile, metaphor, personification, alliteration, repetition, imaginary, assonance, onomatopoeia, rhyming scheme, and rhyming words. First about rhyming words. Here, rhyming words are 2 or more words that have the same or similarly ending sounds. In the poem Stopping by Woods on the Snowy Evening has 4 stanzas. Here, all the 4 stanzas have rhyming words. They are: first stanza, whose woods these are, I think, I know. His house is in the village though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. So, in this first stanza, the words, the last word of these lines are repeated. They are no, though, snow. The sounds are same. So, this is known as rhyming words. What are they? No, though, snow. And in the second stanza, here, cure, near, ear. These 3 words pronounced the same. So, this is rhyming word. And in the third stanza, shake, mistake, flake. And in the fourth stanza, deep, keep, sleep, sleep. So these are the rhyming words shown in this poem. The next one, rhyme scheme. The rhyming pattern that is created at the end of the poetry is called as rhyme scheme. So if the poem does not have a rhyme scheme, it is considered to be a free verse poem. If the poem does not have a rhyme scheme, it is considered to be a free verse poem. Now, how to find the rhyme scheme in a poem? Look at the last words of each line shown in this poem. See, last words of the first stanza. No, though, here, snow. Here, no, though, snow or the rhyming pattern given in the poem. So, no, though, snow resembles a. But in the third line, it ends with here. So, it is different. So, we name it as B. And in the second stanza, cure, near, lake, ear. Here, cure, near, lake resembles a. But lake is different. So, we say it as B. And in the third stanza, shake, mistake, flake. These are the same rhyming pattern given. So it is A, but in the third line it ends with sweep. So it is B. And in the last stanza, deep, keep, sleep, sleep. All the patterns are same. So it is A. So this is a rhyme scheme. The next figure of speech is metaphor. Metaphor is a common poetic device where an object in or the subject of a poem is described. Frost using metaphors to describe some life events. He says about life difficulties. The line shows as if the horse is a human being who understands his owner's needs. There is a hidden comparison in these lines, so these lines are called metaphor. What is metaphor here? He gives his harness bell a shake to ask if there is some mistake. So this is the metaphor in this poem. The next figure of speech is personification. The poet Robert Frost has personified the thinking of the horse mildly in the second stanza. When it stops, and in the third stanza, he gives a sign to the rider. He gives his harness bell a shake to ask if there is some mistake. It shows as if the horse is a human being who understands his owner's need. So, personification is giving unhuman things human characteristics. Personification is giving the unhuman things to human characters. Robert Frost personifies these two things in the poem to add emotion to the poem. The line here is, "My little horse must think it cure." Next is hyperbole. Hyperbole is an exaggerated statement. Here the lines are, "To watch his woods fill up with snow." Fill up with snow to mean the snow covered woods is deliberately exaggeration from the poem. So it is hyperbole. Next one is imaginary. Imaginary is used to make readers feel things through their five senses. The poet has used the images for the sense of sights such as woods, house, lake. Here, the example for imaginary is between the woods and frozen lake. Next figure of speech is alliteration. Alliteration is the repetition of the same consonant sound in the same line. Alliteration is the repetition of sound. Here, the poet Robert Frost uses alliteration to emphasize his sentences and emphasize the subjects of his lines. This draws attention to the subjects and brings out focus on those aspects of the poem. Here, the alliterations are shown in these 4 stanzas in color letters. Please put a note of these consonant sounds. Last is symbolism and repetition. Here, repetition. In this poem, repetition is repeating words, phrases, lines, or stanzas. Repetition is used to emphasize a feeling or idea. In this poem, the last 2 lines are repeated. They are, "A miles to go before I sleep, a miles to go before I sleep." And symbolism. Symbolism is, in the poem, the words are as symbols and they are described as lovely, dark, and deep. The woods provide a place for shelter, but he pulls himself away and go home and fill up his promises. Here the lines are: the woods are lovely, dark, and deep. These are the poetic devices shown in the poem Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening by the poet Robert Frost. Dear students, watch the video carefully without skipping and understand the poetic devices. And copy down the question and answers in your fair notebook, that is, ruled long size notebook as already mentioned, and send the assignments in the Google Classroom before 6 p.m. Thank you.